Hey, everybody, how are you? it's the, I almost said something that was going to get me in trouble. It's the three amigas, including myself. And I just want to see if it's live here, make sure it's not locked up on my side. And it shows locked. Hang on just a second. Let me
I was going to say I can't share it.
Let me fix that privacy setting. Edit privacy and public and done. And there you go. Now it should be open to the world. Hey, everybody. Hi, everybody. My name is Sean Murphy, along with Daniela and Rhonda. And we're going to have another little conversation today because evidently somebody either stumbled across our page quite a few times or what. I'm not sure, but here we go. My question to you is today is what is the conversation that you're going to have at the end of the month? You've got to the end of the month. Today's the 24th, I think. So the question is what are you going to do for the next handful of days? And that's the conversation I want to have with these amazing young ladies to find out what does the end of the month mean to y'all?
Who are you asking?
I'm gonna ask since you asked. Let's go to Rhonda in East Texas.
Hey, Sean, let me answer that question for you. What does the end of the month mean for me? That's a lot to answer. Depends on what department. Is that crazy that I have departments in my brain? I know the end of the month to me here lately has always been exciting. This month, it's exciting. It's an exciting end of the month. I do not have more month than I do money. So, yay, that's a good change. And I'm ending this month differently than last month because of the girl sitting on the screen with me. And it's a huge positive change. So I'm ending the month with huge smiles and excitement, and she's brought even more joy. And that's pretty freaking cool. And they all left me alone on the screen together. So I don't know. You'd have to ask me you know who I am. You have to ask me a little more detailed question. But just the surface answer would be that right there.
So what's changed? Let's do right. We overestimate what we want to do in a month, but we underestimate what can happen in a year. What's happened in the last year? So take September last year this time and September this year. Has there been a big change for the end of the month?
Oh, yeah. It's almost too much to explain. So for me, it's a total different mindset. Like just a complete, it almost doesn't even look like the same life. The only thing is the same as I'm still married to the same man, thank God. I still have my daughter, thank God. We still live in the same house, thank God. I'm a lot different in my appearance, but my mind is totally different. Like today, I was hit with things last night and today in different conversations with different people in my life that after having these conversations, if I would have had them last year, they would have hung me up and messed me up for 6 months. Steaming, fuming, frustrated. Why? What in the world? Oh my gosh. And today and last night, I might have had 6 seconds worth of over them. And then it was gone. So last September to this September, the mental change and the emotional maturity and spiritual maturity, huge difference. Huge.
So Daniela, I'd ask you the same question. You've been a part of the organization for just a little bit, but you've been dealing with a lot of growth and a lot of opportunities. What does the end of the month now mean to you? What's the change for you now when you think end of the month? You've been in sales for a while, so you understand what it means to be that end of the month push. And we've got specifically, it was easy for me to say, I think that's how you say it. There's always a big push at the end of the month for sales, right? Because the month starts over. So what's been the change for you?
Well, Sean, mentally, I am in probably the best mental state that I've ever been in. Business wise, I have courage to push for double promotion in 1 month. And I look at things way differently than I do now, where I believe that ranking twice in 1 month is possible. And you don't ask how, the how comes, and you just show up with joy and gratitude. Everything else follows. Kinda.
Well, and I love that, and that's pretty cool. And for those of you that are watching, at the end of this broadcast, there's going to be a $50 Venmo that goes to you if you hang out to the end of the broadcast. So hang out to the end of the broadcast and see if you're going to be one of the ones that can answer the question. So listen, I'm cheap. I'll pay for an audience. So listen, you gotta listen. I just got rid of the pork chop from around my neck to get the dogs to play with me. I'll pay for an audience. So if you hang out to the end of this audience, it's not going to be 30 minutes like it was yesterday, but there'll be a little $50 contest that we're going to do here. So it means I got to take a note and remember something to ask people if they were here from this point on. So I'll tell you this: what the end of the month means to me is I get to see people go into action, right? I get to see people decide that this is it, and this is the time I'm going to do it, and I'm going to absolutely do everything I can to be the one that steps into this, and I want to be able to make a difference, and I love that there's a clock. I love that there's a clock. And what happens is a lot of people don't take advantage of the clock early on in the month. But you know what? Here's the good news. They can take advantage of the clock right now. So I'd ask you right now to look at your time. What time is it where you're at? What time is it where you're at? Right now, for me, it's 3:22. You may want to write that number down. It's 3:22 in the afternoon. So that could be valuable later on if you hang out till the end of the broadcast. And I'd ask you to drop in the comments where you're zooming in from, where you're coming in. Now, you could be on YouTube because this is being broadcast to YouTube, and it's being broadcast to my page and Daniela's page, and I think Rhonda's page. So I'd love to see where you're coming in from. Make a comment, and so I'll see that here. But I love that the fact that the end of the month moves people. There's a lot of people out there right now who just aren't moving. They've gotten kind of stuck. And I heard it said today, and I'm going to use this tomorrow on my conversation on my daily awakening. But I'm going to talk about the fact that we've lost a significant amount of energy. We've lost our surge energy. Mm-hmm. You know, this idea that I'm going to push through and I'm going to do it. Well, that worked week 1 of the COVID. That worked week 2 of COVID. That worked month 1. But we're in a 6th month. And if you talk to any first responder, if you talk to anybody who's been in a traumatic situation like war, 6 months is when you lose your surge. And if you look at what's happening right now, the end of this month, it puts us at a little after 6 months. People are losing their surge and they're not having their push. They're not having their drive. So I'd like to ask both of you, where are you finding your drive from right now? Where are you finding your amp up? Because it's too easy to step back into fear as opposed to forward in faith. Where are you? And I'll go to Daniela first. And Daniela, I'd like to ask you, what's keeping your drive alive? What's keeping you moving forward?
Honestly, Sean, it's my family. My dreams, my family. I finally have an opportunity where I've stepped out of that comfort zone and put myself out there, and I see the results from stepping out of your own way, and I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. My son deserves a way better life than I did, which I'm not saying I had a bad life, but he definitely deserves not to ever worry. And that's where I want to put him. And we combined, me and Kevin we have 3 kids together. And those kids don't deserve any of that. And And that's what keeps me going. I wake up every day and I get to reach a different step and climb this ladder of my own, yes, of making better lives and breaking generational curses. And I love doing that because it makes me feel amazing.
So, Rhonda, what keeps your energy up with all of the things that are happening right now?
Working with a woman like that. Knowing that I get to work with her and seeing her change and seeing her, you know, hiding on the calls to now being on a live with me, that's huge. She's a driving force. To see her light up and to send me messages that are personal between us about what's happening in her family and what's happening in my family and all these different changes, that drives me. It drives me. So it's working with her that makes it totally different. And then in those moments where I lose that focus, or in those moments where I'm not talking to Daniela on a text message or on a live or on a phone call or something, I get, I'm going to show y'all some pictures. I get some things like this during the course of what I get to do. And this month, I got one of these pictures. I'm going to show y'all a picture. I got this picture from a friend of mine. And I know the ring light is bright on this. I can try to do this and see if that will help. Maybe that'll help a little bit. I got this picture this month. And this is a friend of mine who took a chance with me, and she actually got a freebie.
Is that a friend or is that two people?
It's the same person. This is how I know her, and this is who she's become. And it's this kind of message. I just asked her, she got a freebie on one of our giveaways in our private Facebook group. And I asked her, would you just do a quick little post about the freebie that I gave you to let everybody know they can get freebies too? And instead, she gave me a testimony about how she saw me last Christmas. And she was like, oh, no, I don't need to do that. I'm doing my thing. And then she kept watching me. And by June, her life had gotten to this point. And she reached out and she said, okay, I think I need to do what you're doing. And I helped her. And then by the time I asked her this month, June, July, August, September, count them, 3 months, she sends me this picture side by side with her first picture and tells me with tears, this is what you've helped me do. This is what, not being depressed anymore, not being unhealthy anymore, not being frustrated anymore. This is what it looks like on me. And it's because of you continuing to show up and continuing to share. When the voices come into my head that are, you can't do this. What are you trying to do this for? No one wants to hear you. You're just an East Texas mama that has nothing to say. You'll never make it. You're not going to succeed. Why are you chasing a paycheck? You're going to try to screw people out of money. When I hear those voices, I went and I printed these pictures out, because if I'm not hearing Sean or Daniela or anybody else on our team, I look at this and this drives me. And the reason this drives me is that's a change, not only physically. Her health is totally different, but it's a mental change for a woman. Because there's something about being a woman that when our looks change naturally with age, it already is hard. But then when we add weight on top of it, man, that's a depression and a heaviness that's hard to get out from under. And this woman, when she sent me that, I was crazy. I'm like, that's why I do it. That's why I do it. And Sean, if you'll let me, I'll show you a couple other pictures. I get to do it also with not just remarkable people that are on this live, but I get to work with physicians that took a chance. This is a physician from Hawaii. This is a very good friend of mine. She took a chance also, and look at the change it created. Are you kidding me? So those moments where I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, hold up. I work with a doctor. And I printed her picture. And I printed this amazing woman whose change is so drastic. And you should hear her testimony. I'll give you a chance to listen to her testimony one day. And when all else fails, if that doesn't keep me going, I go back and I look at myself. Y'all, this picture looks like, I don't know what. That's me on that one. And that's me on the other one. I look at that picture. I look at this picture. What? And then last but not least, the most recent one, I look at that picture. The difference between inflammation and health. So those are what drive me. When I'm blessed to have Sean in my ear constantly, I wish for that. Yes, I do, believe it or not. And then I get to work with a powerful woman like Daniela who shows up and goes, you know what? I am breaking generational curses. I'm tired of my family being in the same cycle. And my son, Mateo, he's not going to end like this. He's going to have more because I'm going to show him how he can have more. And then seeing these testimonies, do you want to hear what drives me? That's what keeps me going, Sean G. Murphy now. That is what keeps me going. And it's because of you that I get to sit here and do this.
Well, and it's all because somebody had the courage to share it with me as well. And that's the power of our business. You know, this MLM, me loving more. So, in wrapping up, wait a minute, where'd she go? She just got booted. Danielle. It's you and me. I didn't boot you. Listen,
No.
I didn't boot her. I did not touch the keyboard. She turned her phone sideways. That's what happened. I just looked down at the live on here. So, if anybody's been on here, so Daniela, what would you be your wrap up, right? If we bring this into a close, and here she is back, so I'm adding her back. There she is.
Whoops.
So, what would be your wrap up as we bring this conversation to a close right now? What would you suggest to somebody who's sitting there right now? It's the 24th or whatever day it is, and it's a Thursday, and they got the weekend coming up, and they're just not sure how they're going to finish the month. We've all been in that spot. I know I have, having had $1 million in debt and taking Mason into Costco, actually him old enough to walk into Costco to go get a hot dog because we couldn't afford the membership.
Been there.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what it's like to make your pennies count. What would you say to somebody who's sitting there right now who might be struggling a little bit? And this isn't even about energy and weight loss and all of the other stuff that we have in the side gig. How would you give a little inspiration, give a little empathy to somebody who's listening to this right now? What would you say to them?
What I would say to them, and I know what I was saying to myself at the times where nobody knew what I was going through, and I kept it such a hush hush that it was an embarrassment. And I know people can relate to that, to the point where, like, if I say this, they're just going to look at me like I can't do it on my own. But you can, and things do come out better. And like they always say, there's always sunshine after rain. And I'm a firm believer in that because I've pushed through the hard times. God, it just like reminds me of all the times that, yes, it's okay. You need to cry it out, let it out. But I have to say that in the end, you're going to look back and you're going to laugh because it won't matter. Like Sean says, if it won't matter in 6 months, don't worry about it now, because things change overnight. And hey, I'm standing here, or actually sitting here underneath this tree, and I'm proof that things change overnight. And I just want you all to know, if you're going through something, like the song goes, if you're going through hell, keep on going. Don't stop now. Because the end of it is freaking amazing.
So Rhonda, what would be your wrap up as we wrap up with folks today? What would you say to that person who, again, you've been there, we've all been there, everybody's been there. The question is, the past can't hurt you unless you decide to live there. What would you say? What would be a wrap up you would say for folks who are kind of struggling right now?
We've learned here lately, even more so, that living in the now is where it's at. You can look at any theological reference or any Stoic reference, and it's all about living presently right now, in the now. And the now might make your eyes roll. It might take your breath away for a moment, but it's that you got a heartbeat, you got a purpose, and living right now, this very second, you just got a breath. Be thankful for the breath. Right now, you were able to blink your eyes and your eyes are not dry. Your body's functioning. I don't know at what level, but it's functioning and you're here. Living right now in gratitude. And Daniela has a fabulous gratitude call you can jump on every day. Living in gratitude, living in joy, finding something to make you smile and make you sit for a moment in happiness. Flipping the script on whatever it is that's annoying you and finding the beauty that, you know what, I'm here to see it. Finding something. Yeah. Finding something, sitting in that joy, sitting in that happiness. Some people say, you go to the weekend and it's the week end or it's a strong end to a fabulous week. I would say flip the script on whatever it is that's trying to make you sit in weakness and realize, from my perspective, the Bible tells me when I sit in weakness, God's stronger than he's ever been in my life. So I would say wrap up your week and your month with flipping the script, sitting in the now, sitting in the present, sitting in the joy. And if you need help finding that, drop a comment below, I can't find the joy, or I need joy. And let one of us reach out to you. And we have all kinds of resources, Sean's calls, Daniela's calls. I'm just kind of a lunatic, so you can just call me and I'll probably make you laugh just how I answer the phone or something. And we'll help you find the joy that you're looking for. You're worth it. You're enough exactly how you are to receive the joy that you deserve to sit in right now. That's what I would add. You're worthy.
So all of that is powerful. And the key is, Jim Rohn says, knowledge without action is kind of foolish. So I'd encourage you to take a little bit of action on that. And I'm going to take a little action now. So if anybody, and it may take a little bit for it to get here. So if you know the number, if you know what time it was that I said, the local time here, if you were on when I said the time, I said it. If you wrote it down, I'd ask you to type it in the chat right now, and I'll send you $50. You'll send me your Venmo or Cash App, and I'll send it to you. So we're going to hang out here for just a minute, see if anybody was on, because the numbers changed. I watched them go up and down. So you might not know what that number is. I'm going to encourage you. Here's what I'll say is, if we don't give away the $50 again away today, we may roll it in and we may give it away tomorrow. So let's see here. I don't see any numbers showing up. I'm looking on the different chats. Let me look on the chats over here. Wait a minute. That's let me lower that volume so I don't hear myself 72 times. Once is enough for me. So what's your schedule look like in the morning? Just real quick, a 30-second. What's your 30-second wake up in the morning? What do you do? Daniela. I'm going to go with Daniela.
No, we hear you.
You're here.
Okay. Then it must have been me.
Could have been.
Sorry.
So what's your 30-second wait? Well, we may interview Daniela tomorrow because she did something crazy going to sleep last night, and it kind of awakened the world inside of her. So that may be another conversation. But and listen, you can take a guess at what time it was. I'm just looking. Heidi Wambach. Hey, Heidi, how are you?
Hey, Heidi, that's my high school friend right there.
Hey,
elementary and high school.
Hello,
What's up, girl?
Heidi.
Wow. You started school late? Rhonda?
Stop.
So Daniela, what's your leave it like this. What's your 30-second wake up call? What's your 30-second wake up like? Your routine?
My 30-second wake up call.
Yeah, 30-second. What do you do to when you wake up in your first 30 seconds? What are you doing now?
Sitting at the edge of my bed for the first 30 seconds when I get up, and I'm sitting at the edge of the bed saying thank you.
Simple things, folks. Simple things make big changes in the universe. Rhonda, what's your first 30 seconds look like?
I turn my alarm off and I instantly go into thanking God for waking up one more day, and the pillow that I sit on or sleep on, and the blanket that's on top of me, and the cushy bed. It sounds really silly, but I start there because sometimes my brain's not ready to go into any other type of gratitude. And I just thank him and sit in a moment of, all right, we get another day. Let's go do it. And then I take a page out of Daniela's book. And if I'm sitting up and moving in the first 30 seconds, every step you take, you just say the words, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And it'll put you now, and it'll make you present. So that's what I do.
And hey, Stacy, good to see you. That's our friend Stacy from the UK.
Oh, that's
Stacey.
yeah. Hey, Stacy. What's up, girl?
Hi,
What's up?
Stacey.
Well, there you go, folks. There's a couple of ideas. And if you need any, again, this is about changing your state today. This is about helping you make some better stories so you've got some better strategy. And if you want to do that, reach out to these ladies, reach out to me. We're happy to help. This is something we're doing on a regular basis. So tomorrow at 3, since we didn't have a winner today, I haven't checked with their schedule. So tomorrow at 3, we're going to go live again, 3 Central Standard Time. And it looks like we're going to be giving away $100. So you might just want to call. So, well, yeah, I told you, I'm this, you got to pay to have friends. So I'm going to pay to have
You know what? That was the perfect intro to our song. Give it to me, I'm worth it. Give it to me, I'm worth it.
Okay, watch this. And then we could do this. All right, y'all. Hey, listen, I appreciate you. See, there's the looniness. I love y'all. I'm Sean Murphy, along with
Rhonda Bird Parker.
We'll see y'all where?
At the next event.
Thanks, everybody. Go hug somebody today. Tell them you love them. Bye for now.
Love y'all.